you want to sell more expensive things, you have to solve bigger problems. We don't want to get relegated to selling $30 gym memberships. Well, what do we have to do? It's like things like community, not feeling lost, not feeling alone, not feeling like you don't know what to do.
Welcome back. It's a high-level hot take, and I'm here with Will Hurst. We're at the HighLevel Mastermind. Thanks for sitting down, Will.
Yeah, my pleasure, man.
So for folks who don't know, give us the 2-minute story and kind of like why are you kind of known in the high-level space?
Yeah. So my name's Will Hurst. I'm the founder and current CEO of Big Little Gyms. That's my company. We work with, right now, 600 gyms globally. Those are active, recurring clients. Part of our offering is like a hybrid SaaS component with some consulting, coaching type of offering. We've been high-level. We've been with HighLevel since 2019. It's almost the beginning. It's almost the beginning. I think our client account number is 600. And what do they have now? Like 60,000 or something, or 70,000, or more than that.
Yeah.
So we're pretty OG. Still feels like we just started doing this yesterday, but did some math the other day, and I was like, oh, it's like 5 years doing this. So yeah, built a great company out of it. It's been awesome. It was great being there early, in the early days. You were there, and yeah, it was awesome.
So we were kind of nerding out right before we sat down to record, and you were talking through something you do unique, because your model is, you're in the fitness space, and maybe there's some things that happen naturally for fitness that's counterintuitive, especially for like tech inclined, agency owners. Can you give the acronym and kind of how you think about that with community?
Yeah. So we were talking about community, and I was like trying to boil it down right in our discussion. And I was like, okay, it's dose, right? And some people might have heard this term before. Like dose is like dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. These are your four chief brain chemicals. We have a whole bunch of other neurotransmitters running through our bloodstream all the time, but these are the four that we generally feel with most of the stimulus we have day in and day out, things that make us feel happy, right? And over the years of owning gyms and building real communities, not internet-based communities, real communities, or people we create a really sticky gym membership where people aren't just there to do the fitness. We're not trying to solve the gym. We weren't trying to solve the gym membership problem.
Yeah.
There's way too many options out there. How do we solve a bigger problem that's more valuable and make people want to pay for them? Well, you have to solve. If you want to sell more expensive things, you have to solve bigger problems. And so. We don't want to get relegated to selling $30 gym memberships. Well, what do we have to do? It's in order to sell $200 gym memberships, we have to solve a bigger problem. And what is the bigger problem? It's things like community, right? Not feeling lost, not feeling alone, not feeling like you don't know what to do, being recognized, right? Because it's really interesting. I had a gym owner the other day, message me and tell me, I gave out some awards because you told me to give out awards in my gym to my members. And they were I had 3 different members come over to me and say, in their entire life, they've never gotten an award for anything. And we are high achievers, right? We're awarded for stuff all the time.
Yeah.
But we forget that the average person we're selling to or doing business with it's probably never been recognized for anything.
Yeah.
And it's you look at the current situation in society with everybody's on SSRIs. Why are they on SSRIs? It's because they're genuinely not getting the stimulus to have enough serotonin plugging into the receptor to feel whole, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, the dose thing, there's dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins, and if I read a book on this, I would steal the title from Tim Ferriss. His original title for 4 Hour Workweek, he jokes about this, was dealing drugs for fun and money. And I would totally steal that title. And in fact, I would title this whole thing that, in that you're essentially a drug dealer, right? If you want to make a really sticky product, what you have to do is you have to include the stimulus that evokes that neurotransmitter plugging into its receptor. If you do that, you become a drug dealer, right? Why do people go to the bad part of town and spend all their money on drugs? It's they're trying to fill a void. You can do the same thing, and if you do that, you build a really, really sticky community.
I think that's huge.
Yeah.
No, I think for a lot of folks out there, if you're in the high-level space and you're wondering how do the masters reduce churn, of the thousands of high-level accounts we've been inside of, he is probably up there for record low churn.
Yeah.
Truly, I think you have one of the lowest churn of anybody. Yeah. Any other account we've ever seen inside of HighLevel, and it's this an ism I say all the time: what gets rewarded gets repeated, what gets reprimanded gets reduced. But that is what do you want to reward? What do you want to encourage? If you can creatively reward being associated, being part of a community, they want to participate, they want to show up, they're never going to want to leave. And so I think that's a awesome way to think about it.
Yeah, it is. Do you want me to expand a little bit on those brain chemicals a little bit?
We'll keep it to be continued.
Okay.
There's going to be a part 2. Actually, I think we're going to have Will speak at one of our upcoming events.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I want to go deep on this stuff.
Yeah, no.
We went deep for a minute there, and you were like, oh, we need to talk about this, and you got the camera. I was like, let's go. No, but yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have it. So thanks for hopping on to a little HighLevel Hot Take.
Yeah, man. My pleasure.